If you practice meditation for 10 years, will you still be the same person? In this video, I'm going to answer a question about this and talk about how meditation can change you. It may not be what you think. I'm also going to share 3 things that I've noticed after practicing meditation for over 27 years. Hello everyone, it's Jason, and I'm here answering your questions about Zen, meditation, life, your practice, any kind of question. Today's question is about if you practice meditation for 10 years, will you be the same person? Let me read this question for you. Hello Jason, I recently started learning how to meditate. I've read your book and have been watching your YouTube videos. Thank you for all the insight you share. Since you've been practicing for many years, I wanted to ask, after 10 years of meditation, will I still be the same person? Okay, so the first thing I want to point out, I would respond to this question differently depending on who I'm responding to. So if this question came from a Zen student who's been practicing for many years, I would answer one way. But this question is coming from somebody who's new to meditation, so I'm going to answer like this. Because I think sometimes when we begin meditation, we may have some idea about what meditation is. We may have some ideas about what meditation will give us. So keep that in mind. So, if you practice meditation for 10 years, will you still be the same person? Even if you don't practice meditation, if you never have practiced meditation, after 10 years, you still won't be the same person. I was thinking when I was younger, I was into motocross racing. So this is off-road motorcycle riding. And I thought someday I would race when I got older. And then time went on. Then I got into music. Started playing a lot of music. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to record many albums and tour around the world. And then some years later, I became a Buddhist monk. So even without practicing anything, we are always changing. I think sometimes we hold an idea about who we are or what we are. But even if we're holding some idea about what we are or who we are, we're always changing. We're never the same person. In India, there's a famous river called the Ganges River. So let's say you go to this river and you're looking at it. There's all kinds of stuff flowing through this river. Lots of debris, dirt, all kinds of different things. One friend told me even like bones and ashes are flowing through. Now let's say you leave and you come back 24 hours later to this river. You still call it the Ganges River, even though there are completely different things flowing through this river. This river is constantly flowing and changing, yet we still have an idea, we give it a name, and I think when we do that with ourselves, it really creates a hindrance in our lives. We actually become more narrow almost like we're trapped in a cage. Recently, I led a retreat in Boise, Idaho, and before the retreat, I told a story that I heard from Zen Master Sung Song, and it's about a bear who lived in the mountains and had a very simple, free life. The bear would sleep when it wanted. Sometimes the bear would go to the river and catch fish. Sometimes the bear went to the river and didn't catch anything. Very simple life. And one day, there were some people from a circus looking for wild animals to train for the circus. And they caught this bear and brought it to the circus for training. This bear was very frightened, very uncomfortable. And they put this bear in a very small cage. So now his life is very restricted. And if he wanted to eat, he had to learn tricks. So every time he did some tricks, he would get food. And after some time, this bear became very comfortable with this life. Some years later, there were some people not happy with the way the circus were treating animals. So one night, some people snuck into the circus and were releasing all of the animals. And they released this bear. And this bear didn't know what to do, was frightened, uncomfortable, and just began running and running and running. Eventually, this bear ended up in the mountains where he came from. But now, he's not familiar with this situation. He's uncomfortable, frightened. And he started to get very hungry. So he started doing all these tricks, somersaults and standing up. And some of the other animals are looking at him going, "What are you doing?" This bear said, "I'm doing these tricks to get some food." And these animals are looking at him, "You rockhead, you can't get food by doing these tricks." So this reminds me of human beings. We all create this cage. And we're trapped in this cage. We lose our freedom. And there's many different kinds of cages. There's doctors' cages, teachers' cages, maybe a parent cage, perhaps even a Zen master cage. We all are in these cages and are trapped. So one thing I think meditation can really help with is to help us break out of this cage. How did this cage even get created? There's a wonderful teaching in the Taoist tradition. And it states, pay attention to your thoughts, because your thoughts become words. Pay attention to your words, because your words become actions. Pay attention to your actions, because your actions become habits. Pay attention to your habits, because your habits becomes character. Who I am, what I am. Pay attention to this character, because this character becomes fate or destiny. In Buddhism, we call it karma. And what's interesting is usually we don't know how we ended up in this cage. We don't see this whole chain of cause and effect. So after practicing meditation for over 27 years, I've definitely noticed some changes. But it's not like meditation magically changed me. Like I said earlier, even if you don't practice meditation, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago. But what I definitely notice is my relationship is different to this world. Meditation can definitely help us see our thoughts clearly, see our words clearly, see our actions clearly, see our habits clearly, see our character. When I was in Korea, I sat at this temple and there was a calligraphy that said, "You make, you get." So it's not meditation is doing something to us. We are doing it. We make this moment. We make our world. We make ourselves. There are 3 changes that stand out after practicing meditation for many years. And the first one would be not believing my thoughts. For so many years, I believed that my thoughts were reality. And this really put me into a cage. And we all do this. We believe our thoughts are the truth. So I have my idea of truth. You have your idea of truth. We have our idea about this world, ideas about ourselves. And we end up just arguing and fighting and creating suffering for ourselves and others. So what I've noticed that meditation has helped me see that thoughts are just what they are. They're just thoughts. They have no concrete, permanent nature. It's like catching smoke of the incense. If you try to capture the smoke, there's nothing there. So not believing everything we think can really help us break out of this cage. The second thing I noticed was the experience of compassion. Not just a feeling about compassion or an idea about compassion, but true compassion. Because if we're not holding our thoughts or our ideas, our mind becomes open and clear, and we make a true connection with other people. And I've said this in other videos, it's like the saying, put yourself into someone else's shoes. You really get to experience compassion with other human beings. And that's really changed my whole life. It's changed my idea about what it means to be a human being. The third change that I've noticed is when I make a mistake, I try to make it clear. You know, human beings are always making mistakes. And that's because of delusion. Every moment, a delusion appears. And every moment, we have a chance to see through this delusion. And then when we make mistakes, we don't beat ourselves up. Oh, I'm such a bad person. How could I do this? We're always checking ourselves and judging ourselves. We just start to see our actions as truth. If what we did wasn't helpful, make it clear. Zen Master Sung Song would say, make it correct. And that's something that's really improved my relationships with others. So what's important here is to make this moment clear. If this moment is clear, your whole life is clear. And what you are is clear. We all have karma. In Buddhism, it's this mind habit, this conditioning. And it's not about getting rid of karma or trying to make it go away. It's how do we use it? Zen Master Seung Song once said, "Are you using your karma to help this world? Or is your karma using you?" Those are my thoughts for the day. I hope this video was helpful. You can let me know by liking this video, share this video with someone, or put a comment down below. I also made a video that may be helpful. It's related to everything I talked about today. And it's called 27 Years of Practicing Meditation Led to This. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. Okay, everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you very soon.